Hey guys, 2022 was a pretty bad year for gaming. Not a lot got released, and what did get released had a pretty good chance of being bad. It's the COVID effect. Last year was also a pretty dull year, but 2023, that's gonna be the one. So, to go over the rules, to make it onto the list, the game has to be at least a 7 out of 10, and I'll make it clear when we get to the great games, which are 8 out of 10s or higher. Especially in these years, if I were to just make a great games list, there would only be like 2 entries. But before we get into the list, let's go over some honorable mentions. So first, Kirby. I'm gonna be honest, I could not be bothered to pay $60 for this game. Same with Pokemon Arceus to be exact. I heard a lot of good things about these two games, so I guess I'm recommending other people's recommendations. Call of Duty, I played 1 second in Warzone because it was free. I heard the multiplayer and campaign were good, so maybe check it out if you're a Call of Duty fan. And you thought I was gonna be humble, but I'm not. Call of Duty campaigns are so boring where I don't even think they know what enemy design is. The sandbox is trash. The multiplayers essentially haven't changed since 2007 with that exact same run and gun gameplay where you choose the weapons you spawn with. Basic ass games for people with no standards. Hello Neighbor 2 is a game that I actually played, and bro, I swear, the fact that people dislike my video is just like, bro, I'm not gonna tell you that Tiny Build doesn't suck, but this time they took the Hello Neighbor formula and made it into a traditional multi-level experience that I enjoy. That's it. Cuphead Delicious Last Course is probably one of the shortest games that came out this year, but only if you're good at it. The game is so mean. It is one of the best cases of fear tactics. This game visually and mechanically overwhelms you and makes you believe that the challenge is greater than it is. It is such a mental hurdle that took me so long to beat, but in the end, it was worth it because I got to see the stellar animation that these two spent so long on. Good job, Studio MDHR.
I would argue that the element that ties these games together is not their combat, but their core gameplay loop, the cycle of encountering a challenging obstacle, dying, and throwing yourself at it again and again, armed with nothing more than your knowledge of previous attempts.
So here I am in Elden Blings, and this is not a Souls-like game because the gameplay loop is encountering a dog-ass boss and exploring the world to arm yourself with better stuff. I would say Deep Rock Galactic Barrel Kick game is more Souls-like because you can only arm yourself with better knowledge of how fast that stupid-ass hoop is. Bendin' Chings is a very big game with a seemingly endless amount of content, but where the game falls short is in the core game design. Pretty much everything that wasn't a legacy dungeon felt like they just put random-ass enemies in these recycled structures. And even when the level design was good, the combat in this game just really isn't that interesting. There are so many weapons and enemies, but the gameplay is pretty much the same as it was in Demon's Souls, which came out in 2009. But hey, Demon's Souls is still a pretty good game. High on Life. This is seriously the most disrespected game of 2022. The quality in this game can easily be shown by just the concept. Talking guns made by the creators of Rick and Morty. Ask yourself, why didn't they just make a Rick and Morty game? Well, talking guns have personality not only in conversations but in gameplay. These dudes really tried to make a good game and they delivered on both the gameplay and the story. The story isn't the most deep thematic masterpiece story, but it is written to be entertaining. And bro, is it entertaining?
Oh no, I shit. I shit myself.
Man, I'm gonna break my monitor, I swear!
In contrast to High on Life, Neon White has the cringiest story of 2022. But actually, maybe not. And actually, it's probably not even top 10. Neon White has such good gameplay that is so satisfying to master because when you master it, you feel like a master. The game shows you a level and the gameplay is analyzing it and practicing to get the fastest time. It's simple, but so satisfying. And the boss fights are insane. Dude! What the fudge, bro? So, alright guys, now we move on to the great games. Everything else has been good, but these games are strictly on a different level. Fortnite. Fortnite is the most disrespected game, period. The amount of content added is insane. I honestly probably should have put the game on the list last year, but this year, we got not 1, not 2, not 3, but 5 seasons, including a new chapter. Also with the big events like Halloween, Christmas, and collabs like Dragon Ball Z. Now, I don't really care about Dragon Ball, but you wish your live service game was getting this much. Fortnite has so much content at this point, which includes one of the best game editors in its creative mode. Fortnite has evolved to an insane amount, and I'm not going to tell you that it's worse or better than it used to be, but Fortnite continues to evolve a great foundation. God of War Ragnarok. I think everyone with the brain should have expected this, but Jesus Christ, where do I even start? The game immediately shows you that the 2018 story wasn't a fluke and pulls you back into the universe. The combat is impeccable, enemies are greatly improved, so many new gameplay opportunities throughout the game. The story, while still having some problems, is instantly one of the best in video games. And after you beat the game, it dials down the narrative and seriously ups the exploration in what feels like an entire second half. The amount of content in this game is insane. The boss fights are obviously incredible. The god boss fights have so much narrative weight, and the monster boss fights are just mythic. It is insane how much they put into this game while retaining the damn near perfect gameplay all throughout. There's so much that I could say and analyze, but I guess what I took most away from this game is its closure. This is the second half of God of War 2018, and there are so many connections and resolutions that I haven't even considered before. It is where the two God of War games come full circle and even resolute the old games. I won't spoil it, but the part that got me was the ultimate conclusion to Kratos' character arc. I feel almost overwhelmed by how much went into everything. Not just the lore, the world building, the themes, the character, the gameplay, the music, the design, and how everything ties together not only to the previous game, but also the old trilogy in Norse mythology. It's that it was done to this level. But yeah, I still have to process, but easily the best game this year. Disc Room is so good.